District 73, excuse me. District 73 is a very diverse district. How will you manage representing different groups of people whose best interests may conflict with another group?
Well, that's easy since I come from a diverse family. Both of my children are in interracial marriages, so I have a diverse family. And sometimes there's conflict there. But the bottom line is, when you are representing people, you're representing a lot of different issues, and you have to look at those issues, and you have to put them in the priority in which they fall, and you represent the issues. And you represent, you take those to the table, and you give them the priority that they should have assessed to them, and you get whatever you can for those individuals. I don't look at people as far as their color or their sexual orientation or their socioeconomic status. I look at what the needs are, and I go after addressing needs. I've always done that in every occupation, every job that I've held within the state. I look at needs and I attack the need.
Regina.
Certainly when you're dealing with a diverse population, you want to find what is the common ground again. And it's quite simple. Again, when you deal with the human race, we have needs. We want to be well kept. We want to have a roof over our heads. We want to have good jobs. We want to have health care that is affordable. We want to have safe streets. These are human issues. And to the degree that I would be the first to say, sure, we have issues in America as it relates to race. And the first thing you have to do is address those. You have to say, we have issues as it regards race. So black issues, white issues, absolutely, we have our differences, but again, the common ground that we can find is very, very important. And I would say this, as it relates to education and our children being educated, I think it's very important that we have a particular history in our schools that's taught. There should be a particular cultural bend that says all of us matter. All of us are important, and all of us have a tremendous amount to contribute to this society. So understanding that perspective, we need to move forward with that in mind.
Mr. Williams.
I agree with Ms. Goodwin that there are issues we have to deal with because sometimes we do look at things differently because of race or culture or religion and different issues like that. I was very encouraged by what happened in Charleston, South Carolina, because that showed us that the biggest issue is when people are willing to come together and be unified and recognize that the differences we have are not that important when we're dealing with real lives, life and death. I don't think that diversity is a problem myself. I think it's a blessing. And when I'm representing District 73, should I be elected, is I'm not going to make a decision based on whether someone is this race or lives in this neighborhood or what their economics is. Everybody wants to be treated with dignity and respect. We need good jobs for everybody. Everybody wants a quality education for their children. Everybody wants to be safe. So, whatever that person, thank you.
Mr. Minor?
I'm going to kind of go way, way back again. I'm going to reference this to when I was growing up in the 60s. Right before I went to elementary school, and we moved into a different neighborhood from the deep Greenwood side. We moved close to, on matter of fact, it was Young Street at that time. And when we moved there, I had a white neighbor, a little old lady, and she would always come out and she would always fuss and stuff. But what I found out is, if you speak to people and you talk to them and be nice to them, they will eventually get nice to you. So I'm just going to try and be diverse with diverse people. And when I'm in school, I've had students come to me and say, Mr. Minor, I feel safe with you. And it's not because I'm black, it's just because of the way that I act. That's the thing. I'm just going to be a person that's going to be able to relate and be nice to you, bottom line.
Mr. Lewis.
Could you repeat the question?
Absolutely. District 73 is a very diverse district. How will you manage representing different groups of people whose best interest may conflict with another group?
I think, one, first of all, that's what I thought you had asked. I think, first of all, that everybody has value and that we should value diversity. I think in regards to how I would handle the conflict that's suggested in the question, that I would first try to identify, the same way that you would probably eat an elephant one bite at a time. I'd try to identify what the issues were that were different, or those issues that were bothering, that would bother the other sect or the other people that you talked about, and try to work out those issues between the two groups. That's what I would do.
Okay.
How you manage that with that question is almost every neighborhood in Tulsa has a neighborhood association, And what you do is you reach out to those neighborhood associations and find out what the problems are. And then when you bring everybody to the table, you can kind of create a coalition that this district or this area in your district may not like what's happening in this area, but when you bring a group of people together and you say, let's just lay it all out. Let's create this alliance that's unbreakable. But we know we're different, but how do we come together? And I think through coalitions, through neighborhood organizations, through community organizations, that's how you figure out what the diversity is in your district, and then you try and start on a level playing field of how do you address the issues in those different areas of your district.
Mr. Townsend.
Well, it's about arriving to what is in the best interest of the district as a whole. I think the question is a very good question, and it's deeper than some of the answers that we've heard so far in regards to how someone's best interest can possibly be a conflict for someone else. That's something to be seriously evaluated when such a scenario comes up. And I think that what we have to do is come to identify what our commonalities are, what the consequences of those commonalities are, and if they're productive, we can rally around those and find that diversity is to be celebrated and that we do need a lot of the same things and we do want a lot of the same things, but it's going to take serious evaluation and weighing up the pros and cons in regards to resolving conflict. But when it's all said and done, we are all one district, and that is to be celebrated, and we to share this area with people of all types of backgrounds in a way that moves this district forward. So we have to find the betterment of the community.
Okay, I'm looking here at my clock.